If the past still haunts you in the quiet moments, this episode is for you. Hi, guys. Today, we are doing a very heavy conversation, but I feel like it's really needed nowadays. For those that don't know, I'm a witch and I connect with nature really, really strongly. And right now, there has been somewhat of a season where not only has it been raining a lot, but a lot of things have been happening, not only in the nature world, but also in the societal world. I know that some of you may be going through a period where you're looking at time going by and you feel like you're stepping forward in some direction, but something still haunts you, something still hurts you, and it just is difficult. So today, we are going to talk about and try to heal and understand how we can move past our past and understand ourselves better to move forward into a brighter, newer, renewal life. So if you're ready, let's get started. Sometimes healing feels like catching sunlight through our hands. It's beautiful, but it's slippery. It's never ending. Unfortunately, in the wellness industry, everyone seems to have a fix for everything, a way to solve all of your problems. But the reality here is one of the biggest problems that people have is understanding the hurt that we feel when it comes to our past, understand it, heal it, forgive it, and move on. So I really wanted to not only bring my own experience today, but to help you along yours to make it maybe today just a little better. First, we need to understand that there's a very heavy weight that we all carry. We all carry memories, traumas, and things that we need to heal. And I want to, before anything else, to acknowledge that we are all just human. We all go through this. We all go through hurts and feelings. We all go through traumas and bad times. And the best thing that we can do is just to understand that it's perfectly natural and normal to go through all of that. And it's also very normal to hold on to it. Trauma and hurt is something that lingers, it's something that stays, it's something that shapes us. And nothing in this world is ever going to make it any easier, but we can try to heal. We can try to move forward a little more. And my hope with today is to help you. So let's get started. Maybe you don't feel like you think about the past very often, but you feel it. You go through day by day with this lingering anxiety, with a lingering fear, or maybe you may even call it a phobia. You may call it anxiety or even depression, your PTSD. You could call it many names, but it's all the weight that we all carry. It's the hurt, the feeling, the unknown, the little voice in our head that has that negative one, not the positive one. I can tell you right now that we all go through this in different parts of our lives, in different moments, in different ways. We all go through the motions of life sometimes in a status of fear, in a status of, I'm not sure if I should do this. I'm not sure if I should go because of what I have gone through. And there's many reasons why we hold on to that. And there's so many things that we hold on to. And my goal here is to make you understand that I have gone through many things and still do on the daily basis. This is not a band-aid. This is a stepping stone. And I know for a fact that it's very typical to get stuck It's so normal. Like, I thought for years that healing was doing all these steps and going to therapy and meditating, doing all that. I went through a crazy phase in my life where my routine was 2 hours long, and it involved me journaling and meditating and doing all these things that just didn't went to the root cause. I was in denial for years. I had wake up calls in random moments of the days, and it didn't become easier, it became harder. I became stuck. And when I finally actually started to dig deep and understand, it hurt so bad. It was horrifying what I have found within my own soul, within my own feeling. And I know for a fact that we all go through this, but we feel so alone at the same time because we feel like no one understands our pain. No one understands how we feel. It is a silent pain. It is a silent feeling because it's not something that people can see. It's not something that people can look at you and just know. It is something innately, deeply stuck inside us that just boils over sometimes. And when that does, it's not easy to deal with. We don't need to erase the past to make peace with it. We don't need to just pretend it never existed to be able to let it go. But at the same time, you don't have to let it go. Some of the things that we go through in our past shapes us so deeply that it just becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our story, one of the stones that we carry. But at the same time, we need to make peace with the fact that we carry those stones. And at the same time, we need to understand that someday that bag full of stones will be too heavy and will be harder to carry on as you move. So we need to start making some sort of peace. As we go through this journey, I want you to give the name to the weight. What is this weight that you feel? And give it a name. It could be whatever name you want. It could be the literal name that it has of what happened, of what you want to let go, or you can give whatever name you want. For me, I called it for many years the shadow. It was the shadow that I carried. Sometimes I played around, and when it was a sunny day, I would look at my own physical shadow and talk to it and talk to that weight, to that shadow. So if you are right now listening to me, I want you to put your hand on your chest and I want you to think, what is the name of your weight? Is it shadow? Is it fear? Is it trauma? Give it a name, give it an identity, because that will make it a lot easier for you to talk to it and start to make peace with it. What's still hurting? We are taught to stay strong. And the reality here is that what hurts the most is the silence around it. That silence that we do, that shutting down, that pushing down is what hurts us the most. What hurts is not you just stepping forward and pulling it head on. It's not that the experience, it's everything else that you do after. Because what we tend to do in society is you got to stay strong, you got to persevere, you got to keep it pushing. But people don't understand that that's not what you need all the time. People need to grieve. People need to understand. People need to figure out, why did they go through this? Why did it happen? Why did it happen to me? Why did this happen around me? Why am I feeling this? Why am I in denial or in grief? Why does this hurt? All of those questions make it so much easier to actually heal. One of the biggest things that we see in the medical fields and with people around us is the 5 stages of grief. We actually sometimes see them. And they don't all show up. They don't show up in the exact order, but we all go through them in some sort of capacity. I can tell you from experience that I went through a very, very long stage of denial. I was in denial for years, and there was no one that could get me out of it but myself. And it was so, so difficult. So difficult to get out. That's why today we are doing it in a very soft way. My first step with you today, and with me as well, because I'm in the same journey, is to acknowledge that it exists and to make peace with the fact that it exists. Because that step of acknowledging that it's there and making peace of the fact that it is there, of that pain, of that trauma, of that hurt, of that weight, if you acknowledge that it's there, it is so much easier to actually pick it up and heal it. I want to take the chance to actually do a prompt with you. So I'm going to ask you to put your hand on your chest and close your eyes and ask yourself, is there something I've never allowed myself to cry about? Is there a version of me that still needs to be heard? Am I carrying someone else's words as my truth? You can either journal them or just pause the video and sit in silence. Once you're ready, we can continue. I could not just simply do this episode without mentioning the fact that there are people before me that have very heavily studied how emotions are stored in the body. One of the big books that pretty much has been more than talked about and even viralized is the book from Bessel van der Kolk's of The Body Keeps the Score. Basically, this is based on the fact that psychologically unresolved emotions just don't disappear. If you don't resolve any issues or you don't go through the healing of those issues or concerns, or as we called it before, the weight, the shadow, whatever name you like to give, they never really go away. They will always and forever just stay there. They may not be on your conscious on the daily basis. They may not affect your day-to-day life, but there will be a moment, a trigger, a lower moment, a silence where they could and will pop back up to the surface. And the reality here is that we know it innately in our bones that some of the decisions that we do on a daily basis can be controlled because of that decision. If you have been hurt in the past, maybe you may take a different path to work, or you may not stay up as late. Maybe you're afraid of turning off your light at night, or you run to the bathroom with the lights off because you don't want to stay too long in the dark. There is innate small things that we change in our lives that come from a psychological innate inability to reconnect with the emotion that caused the hurt. We basically have reprogrammed ourselves to work with the hurt instead of understanding it and healing it. One of the things that you need to do, as I said, is to name it, because once you name it, it becomes something that you can work with it. I didn't feel safe for a very long time. I didn't felt seen or heard for a long time. I felt paranoid for a very long time. And I had so many reasons to feel that way. One of the things that we can do is to rewrite the story. is to understand that this does not mean us. This does not define us. This does not resolve who we are. It is a puzzle piece on the puzzle. And we can take off that piece. We can keep the piece. We can rearrange it. We can change it. Because this puzzle is forever growing and forever changing. And the key here is, what will we do with this puzzle? With this little piece, what are we doing with it? Here's one thing that a lot of people don't tell you. You are the author of your own life. And authors have the power to rewrite and revise the story. And now it's your opportunity to actually go ahead and rewrite and heal. One of the things that I have done is to look at what hurt me, at the weight of the shadow, at what happened, and rewrite and re-see the scene again. One of the big ways that people feel that hurt is because they believe that it's their fault, that they made the choice to not act or feel or react a certain way. And let me tell you right now, in the game of life, no one knows what they're doing. You could spend years going down a path that just hurts you, and you aren't even aware that you are going down that path. And then when you actually snap out of that path and you decide to take a turn, or you decide to catch that bus that has been walking all the way down with you, believe me, you're going to see that other path as the dark path of your life. And I wanted to actually come on here and have a heart-to-heart moment and tell you a couple of my experiences. One of my hardest moments was during the pandemic. I suffered a lot through that time. I suddenly found myself injured with a broken foot during the height of the pandemic, during the beginning of the pandemic. Then I got unemployed right at the height of it, when everyone had to go home, when everyone had to wear masks, when people after people after people were getting sick and dying. And then to add more to the wound, in December of that same year of 2020, my dog passed away tragically at home after battling a very rapid, very aggressive cancer. It came as a shock. I was hurt, but my family was also hurting. And as this mentality of the older sibling, I felt like I needed to be strong. I needed to show this image of, I need to be strong. I need to not show emotion. I need to be the rock that everyone needs. That's exactly what I was. I pushed down my emotions. I shut down how I felt. I only lived through nightmares and hurt and pain for months. And after those months, they decided to get a new dog. After a year of having no pitter patters and no anything, our beautiful Sienna came home. And it was all happy and joy, and I was glad that I had a new puppy, and things were great and things were awesome. And I was already in this healing journey of like trying to feel good and trying whatever. And I was meditating and I was trying to keep myself busy. And not even a week later, she got really, really sick. She got so sick that she wasn't moving. And my breakdown moment was when I was in the dining room. I'm concerned, talking with my sister while sitting on the floor. And as I put my dog on the floor to see her reaction, she just tumbles and lies down. Just like someone had just stripped everything, she looked like she was in a position to die. I could only describe it as a panic attack mixed with a trauma or trigger reaction because I was inconsolably crying. I was shaking and I wasn't even in my body. I completely disassociated from my body. And once I finally came down to myself, I came to the realization that I needed to heal. I couldn't go on projecting my hurt, my trauma into a new form of life. I got into therapy. I started journaling. I found a community of people that I could lean on. And it just allowed me to gently and calmly cocoon myself out of the pain. But at the same time, the pain is still there, the grief is still there. I will forever grieve my dog. I will forever not react to my dogs the same way because of her. For the simple fact that it shaped me as a person and it made me so much more aware, so much more careful. It will never truly go away. But the healing that I have done so far, not only on that aspect, but so many more in my life, has made me understand that it is a part of my story, not the whole history. It has become a piece of my puzzle, but not the whole puzzle. And that is what I wish and hope to pass along to you. It's not over and it's not gonna leave you. You don't have to let it go to make peace with the fact that it happened, that it carries within you, that is a weight that you carry. Because I can tell you right now, I still carry that shadow. I still carry that weight. It will never, ever go away. But I have made peace with the fact that it exists. I have come to understand why it exists. And I have come to utilize the warnings and the things that have taught me. It taught me to be more alert. It taught me to be more careful. With my pets, it taught me that I needed to be on top of their health. It taught me that I needed to keep a stronger eye. I know for a fact that my other dog, she went for 3 months having this weird sniffle in her nose that I couldn't understand. And now, like, anytime that my dogs have even like a little limp or they're sneezing a little more or something like that, I call the vet. I don't go rushing to the emergency room. I call the vet and I'm like, hey, I've been noticing this thing. Could this be normal? Should I go in and get it checked out? It's out of the ordinary for them. And they'll let me know on the phone. Give it 24 hours, give it a couple days. If it doesn't go away in like X amount of time, then do come over. And that allows me to just have a stronger and deeper communication with my vet and make me feel better when it comes to this wound, when it comes to this trauma, when it comes to this weight that I carry. And it acknowledges the fact that it was a teaching lesson and it acknowledges the fact that it will never go away. I will never be able to just pretend it never existed, but I am able to make peace with it and turn it into something that I can utilize, for something that it can teach me, for something that I can understand. And you can do that for anything. I can tell you right now, I have been in friend like groups that I have pushed away because I've come to the realization that they were not good for me because they were toxic. They were leading me down paths where I could start smoking or start doing drugs. They were into going out and having drinks and just absolutely destroying their lives. And I realized it very, very late, like right on the last cusp, that I should not go down that path. I got along with people that behind my back, they were hurting me, that they were belittling me. I also heard other people's opinions of me and internalized them. In the previous episode, I've talked about confidence, and I've talked about the fact that it took me 29 years to finally get a pair of jeans because everyone around me made me believe that I was too ugly, too fat to wear a pair of jeans. And the idea of them then made me feel uncomfortable. Even after I got rid of those people in my life, I still held on subconsciously to, no, that won't work for me. I never wore skirts. I never wore dresses. I wore baggy clothes for years because I carried the weight of someone else's opinion of me. And have I let it go completely? No, I have moments where I'm like, I don't know if I want to wear that. And I still am going through the motions and the heart and the feelings of all of it. And that's okay. It's okay to not let it go. It's okay to take your time to understand that you don't have to go through all of this in a click of a second, that you don't have to just let it go. Because sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just cannot feel that energy to just let it go. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you not being able to let go, but you should make peace. We confuse strength with hardness, but true strength is vulnerability, is the ability to show that we are going through what we are going. One of the things that I really, really get annoyed with the current world of social media is our young men and young boys having to listen to the alpha males conversations of you can't cry, you need to be strong, you need to make money, you need to do this. Let me make one thing heavily clear to anyone listening to me. True strength is the person that can look you in the eyes and tell you that they're hurting. True strength is the person that will persevere regardless of anything. For me, strength is someone that has lost a person and has the ability to just tell you that they did. True strength is allowing your emotions to let it run, to let them show. And a lot of people don't understand that that's actual strength. The ability of you being vulnerable and telling people how you feel and telling people that you are hurting allows them to understand that they can also feel the same, that they can be vulnerable, that they can feel hurt, that they can feel anything that they want to feel. So this is your permission slip. You can feel. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to feel anything. Sad, happy, annoyed, in denial, and grieve. You can be hurting or you could be happy. You could be proud or you could be vulnerable. You can be anything emotionally. And there's nothing wrong with just feeling and with showing the feeling. We are so programmed of creating this facade of who we are and who we are feeling and who we should be. And this is coming from someone that I do wellness content. I just did a video on the confidence code of telling you how to be more confident. But guess what? If you actually watch my video, I talk about self-trust. It's not about putting on a particular type of clothes or a particular type of hair or a particular type of makeup. It's not about walking with your nose pointed high or your chin pointed high. It's about trusting in yourself. And today, I am telling you that it's okay to trust your feelings and let them do their job. Because if you don't acknowledge that you have them, you're never going to heal. You're never going to understand them. You're never going to be able to pick up and eventually someday, if you wish, to let it go. So now I want to give you another prompt. So if you wish, once again, you can put your hand to your chest and close your eyes, or you can journal these. Imagine the version of you who has made peace with their past or their present. How does she walk into a room? How does she speak to herself? What does she no longer carry? And what I want you to do, and what I wish to encourage you, is to slowly and gently embody that version of you every day. It could be with one small thing, a small microscopic thing, because you don't have to have your past define you. Your courage to rewrite it does. The fact that you're here listening to me already means that you want to go through this, and it already means that you're becoming the version that you want to be. I can tell you right now, I still go through all of it. I still have highs and lows. I still have moments where I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? There's moments where I have my journal in front of me and a white page and I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about today? How am I supposed to pour my feelings into a page if I just feel numb? There's days that are so hard and days are so easy. And you're also going to go through all of that. You and me are both trying to become this version of ourselves that is just free of the hurt, free of the pain. And there's nothing wrong with feeling it. Through feeling it, you acknowledge it. And through acknowledging it, you can heal it. And through healing it, you can let go. I want to end this video with thanking you for listening till the end, for acknowledging that you want to heal, for acknowledging that this is not an easy path to choose or to follow, to acknowledge that things can be hard, that things can be difficult. And if you feel like someone else needs to listen to this, please share it. And if you wish to see more of this type of content, if you want more advice, if you want more support, I am completely and fully open for it. You guys can just DM me on Instagram. I have my Instagram on my description. And I hope to see you more often around here. I post episodes every single week. And I hope to see you on the next episode. Have a lovely day. I'm here for you. Bye bye.